My fiancé said, I want a prenup. I'm not risking my future on you. I said, okay, whatever you want. We'd been together 3 years. Melissa was a marketing manager making $95K. I worked part-time at my uncle's hardware store for minimum wage. At least, that's what I told her. She kept talking about protecting her 401K, her new Audi lease, her designer handbag collection. I just nodded and restocked shelves during my shifts. The thing is, I never actually lied to her. She just never asked the right questions. When we first met at that coffee shop downtown, she asked what I did for work. I said I worked at Chen Hardware. True, she assumed I was just an employee. I never corrected her. Why would I? Her eyes had already glazed over with disinterest the moment I mentioned retail. I remember that moment clearly. The way she'd glanced at her phone, already half checked out of the conversation. But then, I'd made her laugh with some stupid joke about paint samples, and she'd stayed. We talked for 2 more hours. I thought maybe I'd found someone who saw past the surface. Our entire relationship, she made little comments about my dead-end job, about how I lacked ambition, about how she was carrying us financially, even though I paid for half of everything. I just smile and change the subject. My uncle always told me you learn more about people when they think you have nothing to offer them. Every month, I'd hand her my half of the rent in cash. She'd count it like she was doing me a favor by accepting it. Never asked where a part-time retail worker got that kind of money. Never wondered why I never seemed stressed about bills or asked her for loans. Melissa loved talking about her career trajectory, her promotion timeline, her networking events. She'd come home from work dinners and tell me about the successful people she'd met. Lawyers, executives, entrepreneurs. Then she'd look at me in my hardware store polo shirt and sigh. At her company holiday party last year, someone asked what I did. Before I could answer, Melissa jumped in. Oh, he's between things right now, helping out family, like I was some charity case she'd taken on. Her coworkers had given me those sympathetic looks people reserve for the unemployed. I'd smiled and excused myself to get drinks. When I came back, I heard her friend Ashley stage whisper, "Are you sure about him? You're going places, Mel." Melissa had just shrugged and said, "He's sweet, and he doesn't get in the way of my career." That should have been my sign to leave, but I was curious. How long could this go on? How much did she really care about money versus the person? Last week, her lawyer asked for full financial disclosure. She brought a binder with account statements, her salary breakdown, everything color-coded. She looked so proud. She'd even made a PowerPoint presentation about asset protection. Her lawyer, some guy named Brandon with too much hair gel, kept nodding approvingly. "This is really thorough, Melissa," Brandon said, flipping through her documentation. "You've protected yourself well here. The 401k stays separate. The Audi payments remain your responsibility, but also your asset, and any future earnings are protected under the individual growth clause." Melissa beamed. She'd been working on this for weeks, color-coding and cross-referencing. She'd even made me sit through a practice presentation one night, explaining why this was just smart planning and nothing personal. Then they turned to me. I handed over one envelope. The lawyer opened it. His face went weird. He looked at Melissa, then back at the paper, then back at me like I just pulled a rabbit out of a hat. "You own Chen Hardware?" he asked. "My uncle retired," I said. "Sold it to me in 2021. All 6 locations." Melissa's mouth fell open. The color drained from her face. The lawyer kept reading, his finger trailing down the page. "And Chen Industrial Supply? Wholesale division, contractors, construction companies. We supply most of the major developments in the tri-state area. Combined revenue last year was 3.2 million. Melissa grabbed the papers. Her hands were shaking. I watched her eyes scan the numbers, getting wider with each line. Her perfectly manicured nails left little crescents in the paper. "Why do you still work the register?" she whispered. "I like talking to customers. Keeps me grounded. Plus, how else would I know what inventory we need? My uncle built that business from nothing. I'm not going to run it from some corporate office." Brandon cleared his throat, looking between us. "Perhaps we should take a recess." "No need," I said. She looked at her Audi lease payment schedule, then at my paid-off delivery truck outside, the one she'd always been embarrassed to be seen in, the one I used to haul supplies and make deliveries when we were short-staffed. I could see her mind working, recalculating everything. Every dinner she'd paid for while making a show of it. Every time she'd suggested I find something better. Every conversation with her friends where she'd apologized for my situation. The lawyer coughed, breaking the silence. "We should probably redraft this prenup." "No," I said. "Keep it exactly how Melissa wrote it. She wanted protection. Now she's got it." I signed my name and stood up, pushing the papers back across the table. Smart thinking, Melissa. Really dodged a bullet there.